the syllabic structure or formation of syllables in Lao.
โครงสร้างพยางค์หรือการประกอบพยางค์
Lao syllables are grouped into two main categories. They are then divided into two subcategories. The first subcategory is that of dead syllables. These are further divided into open dead syllables and closed dead syllables. The second is that of live syllables. They too are divided into open live syllables and closed live syllables. How is the tone of a syllable determined? The tone of a syllable depends on the group to which the initial consonant belongs. That is it a mid, high, or low consonant? The tone also depends on the presence or absence of a tonal accent and on the type of syllable, meaning, is it a dead syllable or a live syllable? In this lesson, we will explore in detail the different tones based on the type of syllable. Now let's have a look at dead syllables.
พยางค์ตาย
As we mentioned earlier, dead syllables are divided into open dead syllables
พยางค์ตายบ่มีตัวสะกด
and closed dead syllables, closed by a voiceless or dead consonant.
พยางค์ตายมีตัวสะกดตายกอดอบอ
But first of all, what do we mean by dead syllable? A dead syllable is one whose pronunciation quickly stops. It is stopped abruptly by a glottal stop due to the presence of a short vowel in the case of an open dead syllable and a voiceless or dead consonant,
กอดอบอ
which closes the syllable in the case of a closed dead syllable. Be careful, a dead syllable does not accept a tonal accent, except for onomatopoeia, for example. Open dead syllables.
พยางค์ตายบ่มีตัวสะกด
An open dead syllable is composed of an initial consonant and one of the 12 short vowels. Be careful, an open dead syllable does not accept any tonal accent. For example,
กออะกะกะขอขออิคิคิคออุคุคุ
the tone of an open dead syllable. The tone of an open dead syllable varies depending on the group to which the initial consonant belongs. If the initial consonant belongs to the group of middle consonants, the tone of the syllable is neutral.
กออะกะกะ
If the initial consonant is one of the 13 high consonants, the tone of the syllable is also neutral.
ขอขออิคิคิ
And finally, when the initial consonant belongs to the group of low consonants, the tone of the syllable is falling.
คออุคุคุ
Closed dead syllables.
พยางค์ตายมีตัวสะกดตาย
A closed dead syllable is composed of an initial consonant, a short or long vowel, and one of the 3 voiceless or dead consonants
กอดอบอ
in final position. As we have mentioned, a closed dead syllable exceptionally accepts a tonal accent, but only in the case of an onomatopoeia, and if the initial consonant is part of the middle consonant group. If its vowel is short, it will only accept accent 3.
ไม่ตี
And if its vowel is long, it will then only accept accent 2.
ไม่จัตวา
For example,
กออิกคิกคิกกออีกกีกกีก
the tone of a closed dead syllable. The tone of a closed dead syllable depends on the group to which the initial consonant belongs and the vocalic duration of its vowel. When the initial consonant belongs to the group of middle consonants and its vowel is short, the tone of the syllable is neutral.
กออิกคิกคิก
If its vowel is long, the tone is then falling packed, that is to say, falling low.
กออีกกีกกีก
If the initial consonant is a high consonant with a short vowel, the tone of the syllable is neutral.
ขออิดคิดคิด
If its vowel is long, the tone is falling low.
ขออีดขีดขีด
If the initial consonant is one of the 13 low consonants accompanied by a short vowel, the syllable has a falling tone.
ขออิบคิบคิบ
And if its vowel is long, the tone of the syllable is rising.
ขออีบคีบคีบ
Now let's move on to live syllables.
พยางค์เป็น
Live syllables are divided into open live syllables
พยางค์เป็นบ่มีตัวสะกด
and closed live syllables that are closed by a voiced or live consonant.
พยางค์เป็นมีตัวสะกดเป็นงอนอมอยอวอ
What is a live syllable? A live syllable is a syllable whose pronunciation can continue for a long period of time, as long as your breath will allow you, thanks to the presence of a long or special vowel in the case of an open syllable, and a voiced or live consonant placed in the final position.
งอนอมอยอวอ
In the case of a closed syllable. Unlike dead syllables, live syllables accept all tonal accents without exception. But here, we will focus only on the first two accents, accent 1
ไม่เอก
and accent 2.
ไม่โท
The other two, accent 3
ไม่ตี
and accent 4,
ไม่จัตวา
are more rarely used, only to transcribe onomatopoeias, for example. Open live syllables.
พยางค์เป็นบ่มีตัวสะกด
An open live syllable is formed of an initial consonant with a long or special vowel. It may or may not have a tonal accent. For example,
กออากากาไม่เอกกาไม่โทกากากากา
the tone of an open live syllable. The tone of an open live syllable depends on the group to which the initial consonant belongs and whether the syllable has a tonal accent or not. If the initial consonant is a mid-consonant with a long vowel or a special vowel, without a tonal accent, the tone of the syllable is neutral.
กา
With accent 1, the tone of the syllable is falling.
กา
With accent 2, the tone of the syllable is rising.
กา
The same tones apply to syllables with a special vowel.
ไก่ไก่ไก่
If the initial consonant is one of the 13 high consonants with a long or special vowel, without accent, the tone is modulating or falling rising.
ขา
If accent 1 is present, the tone is falling.
คา
With accent 2, the tone of the syllable is falling low.
ขา
The same tones apply to syllables with a special vowel.
ไข่ไข่ไข่
When the initial consonant belongs to the group of low consonants with a long or special vowel, without accent, the tone is neutral.
ขา
With accent 1, the tone is falling.
ขา
With accent 2, the tone is rising.
ค่า
The same tones apply to syllables with a special vowel.
ขอไอไข่ไข่ไข่ไข่
Closed live syllables.
พยางค์เป็นมีตัวสะกดเป็นงอนอมอยอวอ
A closed live syllable is composed of an initial consonant with a short or long vowel, with or without a tonal accent, and closed by a voiced consonant.
งอนอมอยอวอ
It also accepts all tonal accents. For example,
กออิงกิงไม่เอกกิงไม่โทกิ้งกิงกิงกิ้ง
the tone of a closed live syllable. The tone of a closed live syllable depends on the group to which the initial consonant belongs, and on the presence or absence of a tonal accent. The final consonant does not affect the tone of the syllable in any way. When the initial consonant is a middle consonant, let the final consonant be.
งอนอมอยอวอ
Without accent, the tone of the syllable is neutral.
กิง
With accent 1, the tone is falling.
กิง
With accent 2, the tone is rising.
กิ้ง
And with a long vowel, we find the same tones.
กิงกิงกิ้ง
If the initial consonant is a high consonant with a short or long vowel, and whatever the voiced consonant is in the final position, without accent, the tone is falling rising.
ขออิงขิง
With accent 1, the tone is falling.
คิง
With accent 2, the tone is falling low.
คิง
And with a long vowel, we find the same tones.
ขิงคิงคิง
With a low initial consonant, a short or long vowel, and one of the 5 voiced consonants in the final position, without an accent, the tone of the syllable is neutral.
ขออิงคิง
With accent 1, the tone is falling.
คิง
With accent 2, the tone is rising.
คิง
We find the same tones with a long vowel.
ขออิงคิงคิงคิง
Before leaving, a few more details on tones. In Lao, there are between 5 and 6 tones. We have chosen to build our learning journey with 5 tones, corresponding to those of Central Laos, like Professor Lam Inthamone. These are an excellent introduction. Indeed, each region of Laos has its own melodic system. From the north to the south of the country, the pronunciation of the same term can be very different, which gives dialects with distinctive melodies. According to Professor Mark Reinhorn, a schematic distinction could be made like this: northern, northeastern, central, and southern accent. And even within these sets, variations can exist between one district and another in the same city, the same province, etc. You will find the necessary references in the description. Don't worry, it is quite natural that the sometimes very subtle differences in tones and various variations can be confusing. But it is important to remember that, in Lao, the context must always be taken into account to help understanding. And finally, listening practice is very important in order to accustom your ear. So, as soon as you have the opportunity, take a moment for yourself and listen to content in Lao, which is more and more accessible on the internet. If you found this lesson useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video around you. Thank you very much for being with us today, and see you soon for a new lesson on Vasuthi Academy.